Good afternoon. Today I wanted to take you on a tour of Tinyland Park to show you all the stuff I've updated and talk about an exciting meet and greet opportunity that's coming up in real life. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome to Tinyland. This park first appeared on my channel about a year ago, and it's actually been 3 months since I had posted anything with this park. It was kind of a vibe-only, rainy nighttime view of the park during a thunderstorm. And since then, nothing. But I've been up to an awful lot. You can see in the background there a huge coaster and one in the far distance. Believe me, they're big. They're really big. And we're going to ride them today. And we're just going to talk about all the awesome things. Starting out over here in Skyview is this monorail style ride and the food shack underneath. This is a pretty cool thing. I've done this same trick on the ground in my other park, Duality. And recently, Finished Sign actually went and toured that park, which is pretty cool. I'll put that in the description. I think you guys will really like his style. He's soft-spoken and really does a nice job showing everything off. Moving on up the street here, here's Fire Ring. This is a pretty cool, one of those Hellion Ring style coaster rides. This thing actually has some lighting effects on it that really are interactive at night, where it kind of goes around the ring and it lights it all up in red as it moves. This is a coaster here called Deja Vu. I call it Deja Vu because it's appeared in another park, which is Butterfly Garden. Actually has this ride. And I'm trying to think because there's probably another park that has it as well. I generally pretty much like it. It has decent stats, and it works well in a small space. Over here is Seven Seas, which is a swinging ship style ride. Pretty fun stuff, actually. This ride is one of my favorites in real life. I like that stomach drop tickle feeling you get, and then the push down into your seat feeling you get on the opposite side. Over here is Fugit, because the original ride that sat here was Tempest. So I thought Tempest Fugit. So, yeah, there you go. And awesome single rail roller coaster track. As an unnamed ride, it's in the Toybox Land update, which is in the back there. And I will be getting to that shortly. You guys are going to see an exclusive sneak peek of that area. And really, it's really cool because someone's working on something in that area, which is really awesome, which it's going to be amazing. Coming down through here, we have Easy Street Motorway, which is an antique car style ride. I enjoyed this. It works for the place where it sits. Here's a drop tower over here, and one of these, I think this is a Zamperler ride. I forget what these are called. Scissor rides or something like that. They zigzag in and out. There's a big wheel back there. You can see that hints of that toy box area, which we're actually approaching the entrance for that area soon here. Here's a swing, which placement of this thing has been nutty. It's just been insane to get this thing placed appropriately. And it actually, it gives you decent views of the park, which, you wouldn't otherwise get. So does the drop tower as well. Down here will be the entrance to the toy box area, a raft ride, and that other kind of insane thing you see over there. So we're going to get down there shortly because I want to go back around the loop towards the front of the park because there's some areas over here which are worth checking out, and then we can go back there and check out that whole back section. This coaster here is nearly finished. I'm working on the custom supports and the final layout again. This was a little different last time I built it. This ride was a bit different. I changed some things about it. I like things to fit into a small space but still be entertaining to view and to ride. So I'm really working on my cramming, right? Cram things into little areas. Yeah, so here's some of the custom supports. Here's a cool shot of the coaster coming. It's actually the brake run, so you would get some really decent feels in that section there. Some really crazy feels. I'm gonna work on this shop front here. I recently was watching some videos. I forget whose park it was, and I was like, ooh, that's a cool way to do it, and it'll really help kind of sell this area here. Because currently it's kind of gray and bland. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can see that. Here's the back of Deja Vu. Although we might get lucky here and see the coaster do this final... The crowd is so thick. Maybe? Nope, no luck. Old Town right here. Old Town's this underground area. This is pretty neat. These guests actually look up at the coaster as it goes over. You look. It's like the rumble attracts their attention. And I did that on purpose. I love the interactivity because you'd be coming up here and you'd know that coaster's up there. You can see it through the cracks and the gaps and stuff and the open areas. You would know that coaster's there and you would just be able to feel it and rumbling. And this is Old Town down here. Beautiful nighttime sky kind of effect. And out here is like an underground lake. Look at that guy. He's fun. And then this underground coaster. This thing is pretty neat. We can actually ride this here in a moment. I wanted to show you too this. I used the Latte Love because that's my favorite. Really attractive little area. I don't like that the guests line up through this table though, and I'll probably move it as a result. I wouldn't want to sit here and eat while someone phased in and out of the surface. Excuse me, folks. We're just gonna go back here to this area here and ride this coaster. This coaster took me a while to kind of get it right. I'm still not 100% satisfied in Smuggler's Run, but I think, or Smuggler's Mine, but I think it's about where I want it to be. So, without further ado, let's grab a ride. And there you go, not particularly long of a ride, but it is a fun one. Heading back up these stairs here. I think that these stairs were one of the trickiest things in this park. I really had to dig at and fix and fiddle with these steps. You have the bumper cars here next to you, and I've actually had to hide some stuff that was exposed underneath, and it just made the whole task a little bit tougher, but got there in the end. I do love how this bumper car sits. You can kind of get a view of it from all around, and yeah, I love it. I would totally ride these. Although I don't quite like the confrontation of bumper cars. Real quick, mainly because we're allowed to, we're going to go into this area here. And this is just a nice little backstage area. I put these like pallets down and then ride parts on them, which I think is a cool effect. And there's a carriage back here, like, you know, the park has an event where that carriage is involved. Then there's some staff houses. And then this just loops back around to the front road to the park. So we're going to go back out of here. Walk around this amazing dancing maintenance guy. Look at this. He is happy. And we're going to get down this pathway over here. So I wanted to talk to you about this meet and greet idea. I've always wanted to do a meet and greet for my channel, and I am going to be at Knoebels Grove Amusement Park in Elysburg, Pennsylvania on June, let me think here, June 6th or 7th of this year. And I think there's an opportunity there to meet up. There's definitely, I'm looking it up now to see what my actual date that I'll be there is. June 7th. So at about 1 o'clock, I'm going to be over near what's called the Skloosh, which is a big water ride. And if you want to meet me, just DM me on Discord. Let me know you want to meet up. I'm going to have some friends with me, some people that from the Discord are possibly going to be there as well. So there's going to be plenty of us. We're going to have a good time. I'm going to have a couple $20 ride ticket books as well. So if you ever wanted a chance to meet up or ride roller coaster together or whatever, I'll definitely get on some of the coasters there, maybe even all of them, depending on the encouragement that I get from others around me. And we can ride the drop tower ride, which was actually part of my weight loss journey. That drop tower was my walk of shame off of a ride at an amusement park, and it led to me losing 100 pounds so far. So back here is a raft ride. I'm just walking through the queue line to show it to you. I don't necessarily want to ride it. It's not a particularly entertaining ride, and I'm working on the overall aesthetic to the ride. But I wanted to show you the front half is done. Mostly. I could put some foliage up there and stuff like that. Going back here to the Toybox expansion to the park. First of all, check out this bridge. I worked pretty hard on this bridge. I love it. I think that it definitely has some nice aesthetics to it, and it's lit up at nighttime as well. So that's pretty cool. Coming up through here, you get a lovely view from the sides of the swing, the creek. The underside of the swing's gonna have a skirt that goes under it, like a stone skirt. And then you get Fugit that comes through here. And then from the other side, you can see some of that raft ride and the end of the waterway, which I think what I'm gonna do is either put some storm drain pipes or an underground spring with a little fountain right here. There's Fugit. That's exciting. And then there's these blocks all along here, which just provides some ambient atmosphere. These characters here, they're a lot of fun. They really are. Now this whole area is a work in progress, so don't expect a lot. I've got to work on some kind of cover for this entire section. I think I'm going to do this thing with glass cubes that are stacked. They give you a nice skylight with different colors. And then there's a restaurant here, obviously dark, unopened. It's not ready at all yet. Woo, yeah. While guests and staff can walk over here, they aren't likely to because nothing is open. We're going to go and get stuck on one of these invisible things. This is annoying. We're going to go this way then. We're going to go down this path here. I think I'm gonna put another coaster in this middle section here, a junior coaster. Look at that. And then I'm gonna put a train style ride down here in this next plaza. Oh, these things that catch you and don't let you move are super annoying. This is obnoxious. I'm gonna cut and take myself onto the other pathway. There we are. We are past that hiccup. I don't know if it's where it transitions between sections like this, but it's very, right here it is again. It's very annoying to try to get past. It really is. So once again, I'm sorry, we're gonna cut. Okay, we are back. Not trying that again. That's annoying. Over here is where this train ride's gonna exist. The train ride's gonna go in this plaza, and then this plaza is just surrounded by life. I want this Toybox area to really have vibes, like really have a lot of kinetics and vibes, and that's why these coasters are so insane. This coaster actually breaks all the G-force rules, the fear. No one's ever gonna ride this. If we get people to ride this, it's gonna be insane. There is multiple trigger points for the fireworks, and the coaster is very big. We're gonna ride this in a minute. We are. We're also gonna ride this single rail coaster over here, neither of which have a name yet. Here's the back of Fugit. Here you can see the single rail coming. I wanted to build a big single rail. I haven't had one in many of my parks for a while. I'm obviously working on the station. Here's a great shot of this ride. This ride lifts up, graces you with this beautiful, beautiful pinwheel of things. And I'm gonna light this. At night, I left the lights come through it. You can see their pattern moving on it. But I'm also gonna have spotlights that fling the light around all over the area. And then here's a cool ride. This is a scissor or a sizzler or a merry mixer or whatever the heck it's called, because I've heard it called so many things. And it's got a really nice Disney-esque style of lighting and patterning on the ceiling, which I really feel is a nice touch. And then all these pillars that go around these are lit all over these. And they even have cute little characters on them. They have like squirrels and raccoons, and there's a dog and a tree. And these unbelievable shots of this monster coaster over here. And then that leads you up here to this upper area, or from down there, you know, from up here you go down to the lower area. This ride here, which is one of these like oscillating platform rides that flips and tumbles and stuff like that. I don't know the proper term for them, but I think it's just a fun ride. I'm going to completely decorate it. It's going to be covered in colored blocks and block shapes. It's going to look like it was made out of blocks. And then it's also going to have a roof over it with some party lights. And I'm going to build custom supports. I know, me and custom supports. And really support this upper section of this huge coaster in a better way, so it doesn't sit in the middle of here, and like these supports don't like slam down all over through here. Here's more of these restaurants and little eateries, and I'm gonna make a bathroom one. I'm actually gonna make 3 variations of a bathroom one, and then of course some gift shops. And I'm gonna do specialist gift shops. Like, one is just gonna sell balloons, another one's just gonna sell postcards, another one's gonna just sell t-shirts, another one's gonna sell knickknacks, and that's gonna allow me to have a bunch of them. So there's the platform for this huge coaster right next to this big wheel ride, which really is beautiful. I love how this looks. It almost is perfect enough for a Toybox area all by itself. There's like giraffe style legs and just the body, and it's colored and has LED lighting. And here's magical floating rocks, which will most definitely be going away. And we're back around to the beginning there. There you go. Isn't that an amazing coaster? That is so smooth and lovely. It's just the stats suck. Look at this. I did shave that off. That was a 13 for fair. That was a 13. But I think mainly it has a lot to do with the lateral G-forces and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's 7,523 feet of track length, 111 seconds, 87 miles an hour. The biggest drop is 233 feet. You pull a whopping 8.61 Gs. Good night. 4 seconds of total air time. A 5,804 scenery rating is going to jump whenever I do the station itself. And then a 7 airtime count, 7 inversions. Let's take a ride now on this single rail coaster, which needs a name, so please go to the comments. What a fun ride, right? That really is. I enjoy that. I'm gonna have to work a little bit on some things like this foliage. Just bump this down a bit. I don't want that to be something that is, you know, a liability for lawsuits when people smash their face off of tree branches. There's also a place along here somewhere where the ground touches the coaster. I don't know where the heck I saw that. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, right here. You kind of tickle the ground right there, and I want to take that away because the coaster should be based a little bit on realism for just, you know, for the sake of that, because it feels better visually. I hope that makes a lot of sense, because it makes sense in my head, but I don't know if I articulated it the right way. I'm kind of just tickling some rocks and things like that onto here, and then I take some of this flowery grass texture and kind of dance that along here, and that just gives you a nice rocky valley that the track sits in and then races out of. Overall, though, that is about it for the park. Here's a great aerial shot for you. If you enjoyed this park, go ahead and click on the recommended video on the screen, because it is another park that you will absolutely love. And the best thing is, it's completely custom to you. So kind of like gotta grab them all. Watch those videos, and I will see them pop up in my stats so I can see all the crazy things that YouTube is recommending. And I think you're gonna have a good time if you watch it.